Britain is changing. Not in London, not in Manchester, and not in Birmingham. The biggest property boom isn't happening where most people think. It's happening in towns that, until recently, barely appeared on anyone's radar. Some are attracting young families looking for more space. Others have become magnets for remote workers. A few are growing so quickly that estate agents are struggling to keep up. So why are thousands of people choosing these towns? And what do they know that everyone else doesn't? Let's start with number 10. 10. Rugby, Warwickshire. If someone mentioned rugby, your first thought would probably be the sport. After all, the game takes its name from this very town. But today, rugby is becoming known for something completely different. People are moving here. Quietly, steadily, and in increasing numbers. On the surface, rugby doesn't seem extraordinary. Its population is just under 80,000. Its town center is compact. It isn't filled with famous landmarks or towering skyscrapers. Yet that's exactly part of its appeal. Life here feels manageable. One of rugby's biggest advantages is location. It sits almost perfectly between several major cities: London, Birmingham, Coventry, Leicester, Northampton. That means people can reach large employment centers while enjoying a town that feels significantly calmer. The railway station has become one of rugby's greatest assets. Fast services mean London can often be reached in under an hour. For commuters, that's a game changer, especially if they only need to travel into the office once or twice a week. But transport alone doesn't explain rugby's growing popularity. Housing plays an equally important role. Compared with many parts of southern England, buyers often find noticeably more space for their money. A detached family home that might feel impossible elsewhere suddenly becomes achievable. Gardens become larger. Parking becomes easier. Children have more room to play. These practical benefits matter far more than flashy attractions. There's another reason people are choosing rugby. It feels balanced. Large enough to provide schools, healthcare, shopping, and leisure facilities. Small enough that many residents still recognize familiar faces around town. That balance is becoming increasingly rare. As more workers rethink where they need to live, rugby has quietly positioned itself as an attractive alternative. It's not trying to become the next London, and perhaps that's exactly why people like it. 9. Grantham, Lincolnshire. Most people drive past Grantham without giving it much thought. That may be about to change. Located along the East Coast Main Line, Grantham enjoys something many larger towns would envy: excellent rail connections. London can often be reached in just over an hour. Not bad for a town surrounded by rolling Lincolnshire countryside. That combination is proving increasingly attractive. People who once believed commuting meant living inside the N25 are beginning to think differently. If you're only traveling 2 days a week, suddenly distance matters less than quality of life. Grantham offers exactly that calculation. Life moves at a different pace here. Property prices have traditionally remained lower than many commuter towns closer to the capital. Families often find they can afford homes with extra bedrooms, driveways, and gardens without stretching finances quite so far. The town itself continues to evolve. Investment in regeneration projects, local businesses, and community facilities has helped improve the town center over recent years. Schools attract families looking beyond expensive urban areas. Nearby countryside offers walking routes, cycling, and open landscapes that simply aren't available in many cities. Interestingly, Grantham isn't attracting just retirees. Young families and professionals are increasingly appearing among new arrivals. Some still work in London. Others work remotely. Some have launched businesses that no longer depend on being based in expensive city offices. It's part of a broader shift happening across Britain. Technology has changed where work happens. Now it's changing where people live. Grantham is quietly benefiting from that transformation. 8. Carmarthen, Wales. Not every migration story is happening in England. Cross the border into Wales and another town is quietly attracting attention. Carmarthen, one of the oldest towns in Wales, yet increasingly attractive to modern buyers. Unlike places driven purely by commuting, Carmarthen offers something different: lifestyle. Many newcomers aren't simply looking for cheaper houses. They're looking for a different way of living altogether. Less traffic, cleaner air, shorter school runs, more access to nature. The surrounding countryside is one of Carmarthen's greatest strengths. Rolling hills, rivers, woodlands, and the spectacular Welsh coastline within easy reach. For many people, weekends no longer require hours of motorway driving. They're already there. Housing also remains comparatively affordable compared with many parts of southern Britain. That allows buyers to consider properties they may never have imagined owning elsewhere. Character cottages, larger family homes, even small rural properties. Remote working has accelerated this trend. When your office is your spare bedroom, suddenly the view outside your window matters much more. Instead of overlooking another apartment block, it might overlook green fields. Carmarthen's local economy has also remained surprisingly diverse. Healthcare, education, retail, agriculture, and public services all contribute to employment opportunities. That diversity helps create resilience. No single industry dominates everything. Perhaps that's why so many newcomers describe the town using one simple phrase: it just feels calmer. In an increasingly busy world, calm has become surprisingly valuable. 7. Ashford, Kent. Few towns have transformed their reputation as dramatically as Ashford. For years, it was seen largely as somewhere people pass through. Today, more people are choosing to stop and stay. Location has always been Ashford's greatest advantage. Situated in Kent with excellent transport links to London and the southeast, it has long been strategically positioned. But now those connections are becoming more valuable than ever. Many professionals no longer need daily commutes. Once or twice a week is enough. Ashford suddenly makes perfect sense. Its high-speed rail services significantly reduce travel times to London. That opens opportunities for workers who previously believed they had to remain inside the capital. Meanwhile, housing continues to offer considerably better value than many neighboring commuter towns. New developments have expanded housing choices: modern apartments, family estates, traditional neighborhoods. The town center has also seen continued investment. Restaurants, shopping, leisure facilities, public spaces. None of these alone explain Ashford's growing popularity. Together, however, they create somewhere increasingly attractive to live. There's another factor that's often overlooked: psychology. Many buyers today aren't chasing excitement. They're chasing convenience. Good schools, reliable transport, reasonable housing costs, access to green spaces, enough shops to meet everyday needs. Ashford quietly delivers on many of those priorities, and that's exactly why more people are putting it on their shortlist. Number 6. Hexham, Northumberland. If you've never visited Hexham, you're not alone. Despite regularly appearing on lists of Britain's most desirable market towns, it still flies under the radar for many people. That anonymity is part of its charm. Situated in the Tyne Valley, around 25 miles west of Newcastle, Hexham offers something that's becoming increasingly difficult to find. A town that feels genuinely historic while still functioning as a modern place to live. Walk through the center and you'll find stone buildings that have stood for centuries. Independent cafes sit beside family-run shops. The market square remains the heart of the community, much as it has for generations. But this isn't simply a place people visit for a weekend. It's somewhere many are choosing to build a life. One reason is accessibility. Although Hexham feels rural, Newcastle is less than an hour away by train or car. That means residents can enjoy the benefits of a smaller town without feeling isolated from employment, universities, or major healthcare facilities. For families, that combination is incredibly attractive. Children grow up surrounded by parks, countryside, and quieter streets. Parents still have access to city opportunities when needed. Housing also plays a major role. While prices have risen over recent years, buyers often find they can purchase larger homes than they could in many southern commuter towns. Victorian terraces, stone cottages, modern family homes. There is a surprising amount of variety for a town of this size. Perhaps the biggest attraction, though, isn't something you can measure. It's the pace. Life feels slower here, not because nothing happens, but because everything doesn't feel rushed. Morning traffic lasts minutes instead of hours. Queues are shorter. Green space is never far away. For people who've spent years navigating packed trains and crowded streets, the change can feel almost revolutionary. Hexham isn't trying to become Britain's next booming city. It's simply offering an alternative. And for a growing number of people, that's enough. Number 5. Market Harborough, Leicestershire. Ask estate agents which towns have quietly become some of Britain's most sought-after places to live. And Market Harborough appears surprisingly often. Yet outside the Midlands, many people know very little about it. That's changing. Fast. At first glance, it looks like the classic English market town. A charming high street, historic buildings, independent shops, traditional pubs. Everything you'd expect. But beneath that postcard appearance lies something much more practical. Connectivity. Market Harborough sits on the Midland Main Line, giving residents fast rail links to Leicester, Nottingham, and London. For professionals working hybrid schedules, that matters enormously. The commute is possible. But everyday life doesn't revolve around commuting. Instead, residents enjoy a town where most daily needs are within walking distance. Schools have helped attract families. Local businesses continue to thrive. The surrounding countryside provides endless opportunities for walking and cycling. It's the kind of place where weekends naturally happen outdoors. There's another trend emerging here. People aren't only arriving from London. Increasingly, they're relocating from nearby cities too. Some are downsizing after children leave home. Others are upgrading from city apartments into larger family properties. Many simply want a stronger sense of community. Market Harborough delivers that surprisingly well. Community events still draw large crowds. Local businesses know regular customers. Neighborhoods feel established rather than temporary. It creates something that many people didn't realize they were missing until they found it. Belonging. As Britain's housing priorities continue evolving, towns like Market Harborough are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. 4. Beverley, East Riding of Yorkshire. Some towns become popular because they're affordable. Others because they're close to major cities. Beverley has built its reputation in a different way. Quality of life. Frequently ranked among the best places to live in northern England, Beverley combines history, culture, and practicality in a way few towns manage. Its magnificent medieval minster dominates the skyline. The surrounding streets are lined with independent shops, cafes, and restaurants that create an atmosphere more often associated with much larger places. Yet despite its popularity, Beverley has managed to avoid feeling overcrowded. That balance is attracting buyers from across Yorkshire and beyond. Hull is only a short drive away. York is easily accessible. The East Yorkshire countryside surrounds the town. And the coast isn't far either. It offers remarkable flexibility. Some residents commute. Others work remotely. Many are retired. The result is a diverse population rather than one built around a single industry. Housing ranges from Georgian townhouses to modern developments, giving buyers options across different budgets. Schools consistently receive positive attention, making Beverley particularly attractive to young families. But perhaps its greatest strength is something harder to define: consistency. Beverley has spent years improving steadily rather than chasing rapid expansion. That means infrastructure has largely kept pace with growth. Residents often describe the town as having everything they need without the stress of living in a major city. Sometimes that's exactly what people are looking for. Number 3. Frome, Somerset. 20 years ago, relatively few people outside Somerset had heard of Frome. Today, it's regularly described as one of Britain's most desirable small towns. What changed? The town reinvented itself without losing its identity. Instead of competing with nearby cities, Frome leaned into what made it different. Independent businesses flourished. Creative industries expanded. Historic streets were carefully preserved rather than replaced. Markets became destinations in their own right. The result feels unique. Walking through Frome, you'll notice fewer chain stores than in many comparable towns. Instead, there are independent bookshops, bakeries, galleries, and cafes that give the town its own personality. That individuality has attracted a surprising mix of newcomers: artists, entrepreneurs, remote workers, young families, retirees. They're all arriving for different reasons, but they often stay for the same one: community. Events throughout the year bring residents together. Local initiatives encourage independent businesses. There's a sense that people genuinely invest in the town rather than simply living there. Housing isn't cheap compared with some parts of the country. In fact, increasing demand has pushed prices upward. But many buyers believe the lifestyle justifies the cost. Nearby countryside offers endless walking routes. Bath and Bristol remain within reach. Yet Frome feels distinctly separate from both. It has created its own identity. In an era where many town centers have begun to look remarkably similar, Frome stands out precisely because it doesn't. And that's proving to be one of its biggest attractions. 2. Stamford, Lincolnshire. At first glance, Stamford almost doesn't seem real. Its honey-colored limestone buildings, historic streets, Georgian townhouses, and centuries-old churches make it feel more like a film set than a modern town. Yet people aren't moving here because it's beautiful. They're moving here because it offers something increasingly difficult to find in Britain: a high quality of life without sacrificing convenience. Frequently described as one of England's finest market towns, Stamford has spent decades carefully protecting its historic character. Unlike many towns that have seen their centers transformed by large-scale redevelopment, Stamford has managed to preserve much of what made it special in the first place. Walking through the town center feels remarkably different from many parts of Britain. Independent cafes outnumber chain coffee shops. Local boutiques sit alongside traditional bakeries. Historic coaching inns continue serving customers centuries after they first opened their doors. It feels lived in, not manufactured. But beauty alone doesn't convince people to move hundreds of miles. The practical advantages matter just as much. Stamford sits close to Peterborough, with rail links connecting residents to London in around an hour from nearby stations. Road connections also make commuting across the East Midlands straightforward. For hybrid workers, that's becoming an increasingly attractive combination. Close enough, but not too close. Housing reflects that demand. Properties here aren't necessarily cheap. In fact, demand has steadily pushed prices upwards. Yet buyers often feel they're getting something difficult to put a price on. Character, safety, walkability, excellent schools, green spaces, a genuine sense of community. It's the type of town where children still walk to school through historic streets, where neighbors know one another, where the Saturday market continues to bring people together. Perhaps that's why Stamford consistently appears near the top of Britain's best places to live rankings. Not because it's trying to become somewhere else, but because it has remained true to what it already is. 1. Altrincham, Greater Manchester. If there's one town that perfectly captures how Britain's priorities have changed, it's Altrincham. Not long ago, parts of its town centre were struggling. Footfall had fallen. Empty shops had become increasingly common. Like many towns across Britain, its future looked uncertain. Then, something remarkable happened. Instead of accepting decline, Altrincham reinvented itself. The traditional market was transformed into a thriving food hall. Independent businesses returned. Public spaces were improved. The high street became somewhere people wanted to spend time again, rather than simply pass through. Today, Altrincham is widely regarded as one of Britain's greatest regeneration success stories. But regeneration is only part of the picture. Its location is equally important. Situated just southwest of Manchester, Altrincham offers direct tram and rail connections into the city while maintaining a completely different atmosphere. Residents can enjoy Manchester's jobs, universities, and entertainment without living in the centre itself. For many buyers, that's the perfect balance. Excellent schools continue attracting families. Parks and green spaces provide room to breathe. Independent restaurants and cafes have created a thriving local food scene. The famous market has become a destination in its own right, drawing visitors from across the northwest every weekend. Housing demand reflects that popularity. Properties rarely stay on the market for long. Competition remains strong, yet buyers continue arriving. Because increasingly, people aren't searching for the biggest city. They're searching for somewhere that simply works. Altrincham has quietly become one of the best examples of that idea. It proves that successful places aren't always those with the tallest skyscrapers or the busiest streets. Sometimes they're the places that have found the right balance between opportunity and quality of life. And in 2026, that's exactly what thousands of people appear to be looking for. The towns on this list aren't identical. Some attract commuters. Others appeal to retirees. Some are thriving because of regeneration. Others because they've protected what made them special all along. But they all have one thing in common. They're benefiting from a quiet shift in how Britain thinks about where to live. For decades, success meant moving to a bigger city. Today, more people are asking a different question. Where can I build the best life? For many, the answer isn't London. It isn't Birmingham. And it isn't Manchester. It's one of these towns. The places quietly growing while everyone else is looking somewhere else. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like our next documentary, where we explore why Britain's high streets are changing and what they could look like by the end of the decade.